Well, welcome back, folks. It's been a little while since I've done a shop talk video, and this is a topic I've had on my mind for a while, and I just haven't got around to doing it, so I thought I'd go ahead and make today the day to shoot this particular segment. What you see here in the frame right now is an original advertising piece for the Yamaha YL1 Twin Jet. I can get it out here. As some of you may know, I collect vintage memorabilia for the projects that I restore. I don't collect non-project oriented memorabilia, but for every motorcycle I own, and certainly every restoration, I attempt to locate an original piece of advertising that was related to that particular model in your bike. I found this on eBay, probably a year ago now. This is winter 2020, 2021. This is very late 2020. And this is very pristine. It's, as you can see, it's probably been in a filing cabinet or stored for years. And I don't remember what I paid for it anymore. It doesn't really matter. But I was looking for an original piece of advertising because not only do I collect this, but I make banners that I put on my shop wall. I have this blown up and made into a banner representing that particular restoration project. So I took this document, or this brochure, and I sent it off and had it blown up to make two banners. I actually made one of this shot right here, the cover, and then this page right here. So I have actually two banners for the YL1, and they're up on the wall above where I have the bike itself sitting in the shop. Now the shop that I used, or the business I used to make these banners, was a new one for me. The previous business that I'd used for, I think, all my other banners, I don't know if they've gone out of business or, you know, there's something impacting their business with the whole COVID situation. But I couldn't get them to respond to my communication, so I ended up moving on to someone else. The new folks are quite accommodating, though I don't believe their quality is quite as good as the previous firm that did my banner work, but nonetheless, they're very inexpensive. I could say that for them, but not sure the quality is quite there compared to my previous supplier. The process I use to do that is excuse me, I have a high quality scanner in the house, so I just take the original, in this case, this piece of the brochure, and run it through the scanner at the highest resolution setting the scanner is capable of, and then you can just scan as many pieces as you want. So I scan this, and then I scan this, then I attach them to an email, and they're very large files because I use a very high resolution, which they demand to create graphics from. Send them off to the vendor, and I don't know, a couple weeks later, the banners came back in the tube, and I put them on a wall. That was the gist of it. So this document will now go back into its sleeve, and I will probably file this one away because it is in such nice shape. I don't want to leave it exposed to the fluorescent lights, or actually most of my lights in the shop now are LEDs, but nonetheless, I don't want to leave them exposed to light, daylight, or artificial light, and it'll just fade all these colors away. Most of my brochures and other documentation, especially if they're not particularly high quality, I put them on another wall in my shop above my sink and one of my workbenches. But this one, I think I'm going to file it away. Let's go ahead and we'll set up over at the banner on the wall. We'll take a quick look. There's the banners mounted on the wall, and those are right above where I have the YL1 position in the shop, and you can see that's right there. It's all covered up right now, of course, but that's the YL1. And there's the banners. As I indicated, they're not quite as good a quality, I would say, as my other banners. You can see that red came out a little dark. It should be a little brighter than that. The cost was, the price was right. I think they're only like $10 or $11 a piece, something like that, US dollars a piece, which is very, very inexpensive. And you can order them in different sizes. You just tell them what size you want. I wanted to fit in between the window here and that storage rack there. So I had a fairly specific space I wanted to fit into. And I want them both the same size, obviously, so you can see what they look like there. And I think I've shown some of this before, but over here are some of the other banners. The first one is for the Honda SL70. And then next to that, Suzuki TS185. Above that is the Kawasaki G5 Kawasaki H2750. And all those bikes are lined up right below the banners here, just like right in this row here. And then on the far wall there is a collage I put together for a show I was doing back years ago now of the restoration of the H2A 750, and those are various photos when I took the bike to one of the local bike shows. And then the other banner there is for an H2 also. That a friend of mine gave that to me. He had that particular bike, that's not his bike, but he had that model. He doesn't own it anymore. He sold it, and it's actually in a museum. I believe it's down in either the state of Mississippi or Alabama, but he sold that bike probably 5 or 6 years ago. And then he gave me the banner or the poster. So I just put it up on my wall. But here's the latest edition with the Yamaha YL1. Now the Honda SL125 will go in here somewhere when it's done, and then I, of course, will get a banner for that as well. So that's going to be it for this little shop talk. Probably not as typical of a shop talk as I usually am, which is more technically oriented, but I thought I'd share that with folks. Some of them might find it interesting. Any issues, questions, thoughts, drop me a note. And as usual, thanks for watching.